Hi everyone, I'm the professor. Let's do some more question based on factorials. The first question that we have is like, what will be the highest power of 5 that will divide the product of first 60 multiples of 5? Okay, so we need to find the highest power of 5. That's pretty clear from this part of the question. We need to calculate the highest power of 5. Now the second part is a bit tricky and difficult to understand, which creates a lot of confusion in students. So let's try to read it slowly again and try to infer what this question means. That will divide the product of, so we are talking about some product. Let's see what product. Product of first 60 multiples of 5. So we are talking about the products of first 60 multiples of 5. So first we need to understand what are the multiples of 5. We need to multiply the first 60 such multiples. So what are the multiples of 5? Multiples of 5 are nothing but of the form 5k, and we are talking about first 60 multiples. So that means 5 into 1, 5 into 2, 5 into 3, and till 5 into 60. So these are the first 60 multiples of 5, right? And we need to multiply the product of first 60. So it's in product. So we are talking about multiplication. Okay. So we are multiplying the first 60 multiples of 5, and then we need to calculate the highest power of 5 in this expression. So if we divide it by 5, so what would be the highest power? This is our question. Okay, so we need to calculate the highest power of 5 in this expression. So understanding such questions is the key before you proceed, because sometimes what happens, students don't understand the questions correctly and they go on an entirely wrong path, especially in exams like CAT and XAT. They frame questions in a way which will lead you often to a wrong path. So it's important that you read slowly and try to understand what the question exactly means. So we need to calculate the highest power of 5 in this expression. This expression is nothing but the product of first 60 multiples of 5. Okay, so uh, I can see that there is a 5 in every bracket, so I can take this 5 common, right? So I can take all these 5s outside of these brackets. Remember, these are in product, so this 5 is entirely different from this 5. So if I multiply 5 into 5, that will give me 25, then 25 into another 5, that will give me 125. So that the powers are increasing by every multiplication of 5, and there are 60 such brackets. So when I take 5 out of these brackets, I'll get 5 to the power 60, because there were 5s in all these 60 brackets, and I've taken these 5s out of these brackets, so I get 65s outside. And in the bracket I would be left with 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 till 60. So that is nothing but factorial 60, right? Now I need to calculate the highest power of 5 for this expression. So see the beauty how we changed a long expression into something very short and something very similar that we were doing in previous questions. So firstly we need to calculate the highest power of 5 in factorial 60. So 60 when divided by 5 will give me 12, then will give me 2. So there are 14 powers of 5 in factorial 60, and there are 60 5s available outside the bracket. So that means 60 plus 14, there are 74 5s that are present in this expression. So the highest power of 5 is nothing but 74. So that is my answer. So just try to understand how a very seemingly difficult question was so easy that it hardly took a couple of steps to arrive at our answer. And that's the beauty exams like CAT, XAT they have. Now let's move on to our next question. We need to calculate the remainder when factorial 1 plus factorial 2 plus factorial 3 dot 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 till factorial 1000 is divided by 4. Okay, so we need to calculate the remainder. We needn't find the quotient. We don't need to calculate what is the highest power of 4 in this case. We need to find the remainder. What is the remainder when the sum of factorials till factorial 1000 is divided by 4, what is the remainder of that expression? So this essentially means that factorial 1 is divided by 4, factorial 2 is divided by factorial 4, by 4, sorry, factorial 3 is divided by 4, factorial 4 is divided by 4, until factorial 1000 is also divided by 4, and we are talking about the summation. So what's essential to understand over here, let's try to do some calculation over here. So if I say factorial 1 by 4, right, factorial 1, the value of factorial 1 is 1. So 1 by 4, the remainder in this case would be 1, right? Now we have factorial 2 divided by 4. So factorial 2 is nothing but 2 into 1, which is 2. So the remainder would be 2, because 2 when divided by 4, 2 is not divisible completely. So that 2 is the remainder. Now factorial 3 by 4, factorial 3 is 6, right? 1 into 2 into 3, that is 6. I hope these values are comfortable with you. So factorial 3 is 6. 6 divided by 4, the remainder would be 2, right? The first multiple of 4 is 4, and there are 2 additional that would be remaining, two digits. So that 2 is the remainder. Now let's move on to the next part. It's factorial 4 by 4. Factorial 4 is 24. 1 into 2 into 3 into 4, 24, right? And 24 is a multiple of 4, okay? So that means the remainder in this case is 0. Now when I talk about factorial 5 and I divide it by 4, so I am talking about 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, or into 5 into 6, right? So there is obviously 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 is present in the next coming factorials. So that means all the factorials after factorial 4, since factorial 4 leaves a remainder of 0, all the factorials after factorial 4 will also leave a remainder of 0, because factorial 5 is nothing but 120, and 120 divided by 4 will give me a remainder of 0. Then the next factorial is 720, again the remainder would be 0, and we can proceed, and we'll always find that the remainder will be 0, because we have already calculated, we have already got the remainder over here. So each of the terms after this factorial will give me a remainder of 0 when they are divided by 4. So that means it's irrelevant what this number actually was. Maybe it would have been a million, a billion, it doesn't matter. The only thing to worry about is finding till where the remainder would come out to be 0, because after that term either there would be some pattern of repetition, or the remainder would eventually become 0, and that is what has happened in this case. So beyond this number I don't even need to calculate. I know for a fact that all the factorials beyond this will give me a remainder of 0 when they are divided by 4. So I just need to take care of these numbers. So the remainder, the addition of remainders is 1 plus 2 3 plus 2 5. That means 5 when again divided by 4 will give me a remainder of 1. So this whole expression, since it's a sum, so the whole expression will give me a remainder of 1. That's the answer. Now had this question been instead of 4 I divided by 24, if I divided by 24, again since factorial 4 is 24, and I know 24 when divided by 24 will give me a remainder of 0, and every number beyond that will give me a remainder of 0, because 24 is already a part of that multiplication, because it's a product. So factorial 4, when we move on from factorial 4 to factorial 5, we are doing nothing but multiplying 24 into 5. Then for the next factorial it's 24 into 5 into 6, then 24 into 5 into 6 into 7. So 24 is constant in each of the further multiplication. So that means all the numbers thereby are divisible by 24. So that means again the remainder would have been 0 from factorial 4 onwards. So we had to worry about only these remainders. So that had been 1 plus 2 plus 6, that would be 9. 9 divided by 24 will give me a remainder of 9 itself. So if this is divided by 24, then the remainder would have been 9 and not 1. So for such questions also you can change this value and try to figure out the pattern or the number where the remainder would get 0. So you can try for 30, you can try for 36, and so on and so forth for your practice. Let's try for one more question before we wind up the session on factorials. So the question goes like, find the least value. So we need to calculate the minimum value, least value of n. Okay, So we have to calculate the least value of n such that factorial n is divisible by 888. So we need to calculate the least value of n such that factorial n is divisible by 888. Now 888 is a beautiful number. We have already discussed numbers of a sort AAA where all the three digits are same. So when all three digits of a number are same, they are a multiple of 37. So 37k will give me a number of the form 111, 222, 333 or something of that sort. Okay, so this number necessarily has to be a multiple of 37. So 37 into 24 gives me 888. Okay, so if I prime factorize it so as to calculate the highest power and so on and so forth, 24 can be written as 2 cube into 3 and 37 as it is, since it's a prime number. So I want to find the least value of n such that factorial of n is divisible by 888. So any number that is divisible by 888 should be divisible by 2 cube and 3 and 37 simultaneously, right? So we are actually talking about nothing but numbers such factorial where the highest power should be more than this. There should be at least 137 involved, at least 1 3 involved, and at least 3 2's involved. So since we have a 37 and 37 is a prime number, so I know that the number n should be equal to or more than 37 factorial, right? Since 37 factorial would be the first such factorial which would have the product as 37 in it, right? So only factorial 37 and numbers beyond factorial 37 will give me the prime factorization of such sort where 37 has at least one power in it. And factorial 37 necessarily has 1 3 in it because 1 3 is obtained at 3 itself. And for 2 cube, that is 8, since 8 is also a part of 37, I needn't really worry about it. So 37 is the least value of n such that this factorial 37 is divisible by 888. Again, in this question also you can change the value and substitute the value of 888 and try it for different divisions. That would also help you understand the variety of numbers, the prime factorization form of different numbers. So that's about this video lecture. Thank you for watching. Keep studying. Stay safe. I am the professor. See you. Bye bye.